Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Okay, this upload I decided to do because I realize there's many people who are looking for some sort of pathway, ideas, scope of information that may be their launch pad. So before I even begin, I am not a medical professional. I am just a PCOS sufferer, just like yourself. And some of you may be, medical professionals, I don't know, but I'm not. This is a channel that's based on natural ways of managing PCOS. And it's just, information that I've gathered through the years from myself and also but from the women who have contacted me and who I have been along with, with their journey. I don't like to say help or assist because I think knowledge is for everyone, and it's a sisterhood. Like we're like literally a sisterhood, sharing and trying to like improve our ways and improve our lives and quality of lives. So okay, I'm going to be sharing this, and again, even on my I'm going to share the screen. I've mentioned it there as well. Is this, and let me just actually improve increase the screen size here. Okay. So please know these are recommendations. Please follow your own logic, information gathering, and professional advice. Please follow your intuition as well, whatever makes sense for you. All right. Supplements and vitamins to be taken daily will vary from 1 month to 3 months per person. So we all are unique beings. All of our PCOS needs are going to be different. But what I found, again, I'm just sharing what I've learned through the years and have found is when people's foundational deficiencies have not been restored, nothing seems to benefit or work. So for many females that I've been working with and have worked with, this is usually a combination of the first phase. There's 3 phases. The first phase, and again, depending on needs and so forth. So it could be, but generally it's 3 phases. I just want to clarify. Okay, so this is the first phase, always the foundational phase. So the vitamin list here, again, depending on what is required, will be based on your own needs, but generally overall, this seems to be the kind of like the foundational stepping stone for literally everyone I've worked with. First, vitamin D, no surprise, no brainer. Now, the IUs are a modest number. They're not even, may not be your need. Let me explain. 5,000 IUs is bare minimum to be taken daily, and you can do the research on this. Like I said, this is just recommendations and my opinion on this matter. So 5,000 IUs is generally the daily intake for most people, most women PCOS sufferers need daily. If you're comfortable with less, I would recommend taking at least 1,000 to at least 3,000 IUs if that's comfortable for you. But again, that's up to you. To 10,000 IUs. Now, this is still a modest number. I'll tell you why. If you can get your vitamin D checked, please get it checked. And I'll explain. I started off with 50,000 IUs because I was that low. Like the person was like, actually it was through the way that in Canada it was done was I sent it in to a nurse. It was this whole thing. And it wasn't even in my location. It was a phone discussion, but she was shocked out of her mind that I was functioning because mine was that low. So again, it will vary, but if you're not sure what your numbers are, 5,000 is generally a safe way to go per day. Calcium 500 milligrams per day, again 1 to 3 months, depending on your own personal needs and also what your decision is and so forth. What I mean by that is that, let's say your calcium intake you feel like is enough. That may also alter your, selection here. You may think, okay, 1 month added will be good, and that's it. Calcium is an interesting one. I do not, generally, I kick that one off the list after the 3 months because I don't want someone to over calcify or have the system be over calcified. So that is important as well when we're looking at calcium. But 500 milligrams between 1 to 3 months, generally the go-to in, again, the regimen that I provide for women. Magnesium, 1,000 milligrams. This one is split into 500 milligrams in the morning or afternoon and 500 milligrams at night. To absorption sometimes is difficult for magnesium for some people, and it can cause stomach upset. So that's why it's separated generally. Omega-3, 500 milligrams per day. zinc 50 milligrams per day, and this one sometimes is thrown off the list just like calcium, between 1 to 3 months depending on the person. Vitamin B complex is 100 milligrams per day, and that's with all the B vitamins. A very important one for this because it's vitamin B vitamins are seen as stress vitamins, the ones that help with stress. So it's a big one. NAC 1000 milligrams. That again, what do you call it? Important in insulin responses. B12. So B12 is again a caveat there. B12, depending on whether you got tested or not, is very important, and depending on your diet and so forth, especially if you're vegetarian or you don't eat a lot of meat. So get your B12 checked to see if you need, less than that, 500 milligrams for B12 additional, or add 3,000 milligrams additional. So that in itself will help you determine if you even need the B12, or if you do it mildly for at least 3 months, then that will assist in determining that. I also want to say, when a doctor comes back, or anyone who's done the test comes back and says, oh, you're normal, ask what the normal is, because you may be normal by 1 dot, like by 1 point. So meaning that you'll fail if the 1 point is gone. You want to be at a good to optimal, obviously optimal range. Find those numbers if you're able to. Vitamin E, 400 IUs per day. Generally, I also kick this off the list or make it more sporadic, depending again on where the person is and what's going on. Vitamin C, 500 to 2,000 milligrams per day, and this will also range per person. If you want to be on the just general side, you could take up to 1,000 and call it a day. So again, depends on the person's need, and that's why I'm saying, just more of a general kind of scope, because this is not based on your specific needs. This is where you're going to have to assess and see, what is my diet? What am I doing? What am I taking? What are my numbers, et cetera, to be able to, get the dosage. But overall, what I've given is generally what I end up giving. The only differences are the ranges for vitamin D, vitamin C, and B12. So testosterone androgen reduction, for those of you suffering with high androgen and insulin resistance, is spearmint tea. If possible, take it twice a day. I can't speak enough about spearmint tea. Spearmint tea rocks. Once today, even and with all of this, by the way, don't stress yourself out like, okay, I have to take this every single day. Like you're stressed suddenly. Do what you can. Anything is better than nothing, and that's my attitude. Even let's say you skip a day or whatever, just try to get back on the consistency and don't be hard on yourself. Inositol powder. Okay, inositol powder itself is a supplement. It is. People use it for, it has B8 vitamins. And has a benefit. It benefits people who have, let's say, low energy, low mood, depression, and it's a good supplement to take on the side. But people use it as a supplement and or as part of managing insulin. So if you're taking it as a supplement, let's say you don't have insulin issue, or you're on a very low carb diet, you don't really need to be taking inositol so much. And more importantly, if you're taking metformin, you should only be taking inositol as a supplement. So let's say half a teaspoon or a little bit even less from that is what you should be taking, because metformin functions just like inositol, and you should not be taking more than, let's say, half a teaspoon of that. So half a teaspoon if you're taking metformin, if you want to take inositol as a supplement. Okay, if taken as a supplement due to low carb diet, 1 teaspoon a day. If you take more than that, please monitor yourself. People have fainted because they get overexcited and they think the benefits will be faster, and they can lose weight faster if they take the inositol powder this way, and that is not the case. You will lose balance, so just be careful with the stuff. If taken to balance insulin due to high carb intake, you're going to be adjusting according to your diet. You're going to become more mindful of what you're eating. So if you know that you're going to be having a high carb meal, you then before that meal may take a teaspoon before that meal. If you know that you're going to have a more low carb meal, but still want to, because your whole day has been kind of all over the place with the insulin spikes, you may take a half a teaspoon or skip taking it if it's a very low carb meal. So again, you're going to learn to become more mindful of what you're taking in and when to utilize the insulin, the inositol. Food intake, ensure you have protein with each meal. If you plan to eat any high carbohydrate meal, like I said before, take inositol, take it before, about a half an hour before. But if you missed it and you're out somewhere random or just forgot, you can still take it after, but also add an additional NAC supplement to it to speed up, the process. But don't do that all the time. Take it before your meal. That's the best way to maintain this. Drink plenty of water, 8 to 10 glasses a day. Now, this is, again, recommended amount, okay? If your weight is, higher than 200 pounds, you should be taking in more water. And you should be taking in more water if you're low carb anyways. But if you're like also are, over 200 pounds, you should be taking in a lot more water. So there's a point where between 12 to 15 glasses even. I myself, when I was at 245 pounds, I learned that I had to be taking between 12 to 15 pounds, but 12 was the best, because then you fall into the liquefying the body, or whatever the word is, overhydrating, I guess, whatever it is. So be mindful and then adjust accordingly. That is a lot of water to drink, I know, but this is just in the beginning phases. As you're adjusting your system, as your body is cleansing, you're releasing the toxins, you're working overtime, like with the supplementation, your liver is also doing a lot of work. It's good to get in a lot of water. Again, this is between 1 to 3 months, like what I've provided, and then it's adjusted again. But the inositol and all the stuff remains. So any questions about that, let me know. I hope this is making sense. Stress reduction, big thing for PCOS sufferers, huge. I mean, if you're following me, you know that yoga was a big assistance when it came to my life. When there was a yoga studio here, it really helped me calm my mind. So also to other things, like this is just suggestions. Like I like lavender oil. I'm a person that reacts to a lot of like aromatherapy and smells. So do things that calm you, even if it's for like 5 minutes. It makes a huge difference with your whole physiology. Any meditation, mild exercise, yoga, light lifting of weights. Weights are big, huge. Breathing exercises, dancing, whatever it is to not only de-stress you, but also help with your insulin balancing. Okay, I felt like that was a lot. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, this is just for knowledge base. I know there's so much out there, and I just thought, it would be nice for someone to kind of see what is usually, has helped many women get their menstruation, just regulate to a certain extent, but more importantly, get more energy, all those things that have assisted me and others. So this is just their recommendations. I want to clear that up. And any questions or comments, let me know. I hope you're all doing well and stay safe. All right, take care.